A lot of people I've noticed spiritually are at a huge loss about like, how do I actually have meaningful spiritual experiences? Concentration is a big part of that. But I want to share a verse in the Bible that I think lays out a pretty cool pattern that can apply to any spiritual or truth seeker. It's a verse that almost everyone's heard. And the verse is, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. I used to think that these were three different ways of saying the same thing, but these are actually three distinct steps that if we follow, it will be opened unto us. Okay, so the first is ask and you shall receive. This one's a little bit more on the nose. This means manifesting. This means praying and asking. This means asking in meditation. This means directing our question and what we want to something greater than ourselves. Most people know that and feel comfortable doing that. That's pretty cut and dry. The second is seek and you shall find. So it's like you can ask the question and you may or may not receive from just asking the question in prayer, as an example. But if that doesn't work, then go to phase 2, which is seek and you shall find. Okay, what does that mean? I think for people that are more versed to scriptures, whatever, that a lot of times looks like studying. That can look like so many things, though. That can mean driving and going up into the mountains and looking for omens. This beautiful thing that Native Americans did is they would take these vision quests. The way that they would seek is they would already have answers in mind, and then they would separate themselves from the tribe and go up into the mountains and seek. Just them making that journey of separating themselves and going into nature is a form of seeking. And obviously more of a traditional way to seek is maybe reading or studying. And that looks more like having questions and then looking for the answers in inspired writings or scriptures. Okay, well, what if you don't find the answer from just putting yourself in nature and looking for omens or whatever, or studying? Well, this is where the third part is the third phase is so underrated and so powerful. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Okay, so in Christian theology, knock and it shall be opened up to you is symbolic of going to the home of Christ, knocking on his door, and then him opening it unto us and giving us knowledge and answers. How do we do that? This is where the concentration practice is so important. One of the best ways to concentrate in a form of knocking that I've noticed for myself and people is visualization. This is not talked about enough in traditional religions or spiritual practices. Certainly it's talked about some more in maybe yoga and meditation, obviously, and things like that, which is so cool. But why is visualization such a powerful way to knock and to have things opened unto us? Because it's a form of concentration, and we are participating in being a co-creator with God or the source. Our spiritual nature is to be that of a co-creator. And so whatever questions you have, you want to close your eyes and you want to create the setting, and if it's talking to Christ, if it's talking to heavenly, to Mother Earth, to God, whatever is going to feel comfortable to you, you visualize, you create them entering the space, and you make it very real. Most people are like, well, aren't I just creating this on my own? Well, it's like, yes, to some degree, But as you do that, as you co-create, the spiritual, the greater than comes to you, meets you halfway, and you start to feel the power of the experience. It takes over. And if it doesn't take over, you might have these positive emotions like love or hope or confidence or whatever that we can't manufacture on our own. Okay, so the experience then becomes stamped as a real spiritual experience. Most people, I've noticed, they'll take the effort to ask, or they will take the effort to seek. There is a natural part of all of our spiritual development is God or the universe is going to want us or ask of us to start to co-create, to start to have us knock more. And that's where a lot of magic happens.